A town that will pay you $50,000 just to move there. Go ahead, let your scam radar light up, because that instinct is correct. No council in Britain is wiring you 50 grand because you filled out a form and showed up with a removal van. That is not how this works. That has never been how this works. Here is the thing, the real offer is more subtle, more strategic, and frankly more interesting than any headline deserves credit for. There are towns across the United Kingdom where the median home price is so low, the cost of living arbitrage so extreme, and the local incentives so quietly generous that over 5 years, the math lands you $50,000 ahead of your counterpart still renting a shoebox in London or Manchester. That is not a promise, that is arithmetic. Tonight, we are auditing 8 of those towns. We are exposing the catches nobody puts in the brochure, and we are running real numbers. And because financial decisions made on emotion are how you end up broke in a cool postcode, stay until the end. Because the last town on this list is so aggressively affordable, it will make you Google what -10 degrees actually feels like. Number 1, Cumnock, Scotland. Picture yourself in Cumnock, a former coal town in East Ayrshire where the industry left, the population followed, and the housing prices quietly collapsed into something remarkable. Median homes here sit under £100,000. Some empty property renovation schemes have offered grants up to £25,000 for buyers willing to take on abandoned stock. Your mortgage on a £95,000 property, roughly £450 to £500 a month. But here is what nobody tells you. Cumnock is not selling you a lifestyle. It is selling you ownership. The grey skies are real. The limited nightlife is real. The shortage of high-paying local jobs is very real. Translation: you are not moving here because it is exciting. You are moving here because exciting cities are financially destroying you and you are tired of pretending otherwise. If your income travels with you, remote work, freelance, self-employment, Cumnock is a retirement cheat code dressed up as a council initiative. Your friends in Manchester are paying $1,800 a month to rent. You own. That cognitive dissonance is intentional and it is working in your favour. Number 2, Blackpool, England. Blackpool is a ghost of what it used to be, and that is precisely why the numbers work. Terraced homes start from £110,000. Rental yields for investors are among the strongest in the north of England. The town has absorbed significant regeneration spending, which means infrastructure investment without the inflated prices that follow in trendier cities. Real talk, Blackpool is gritty. The winters are windy, the seasonal economy is fragile, and pockets of deprivation are visible and documented. Translation: you are buying an entire house for the price of a deposit on a London flat. And the people selling you that narrative are not wrong. The math is the math. Picture yourself in Blackpool on a February evening, salt air, neon from the promenade, and a mortgage cheaper than your last rental agreement. That is not glamour. That is a financial oasis hiding behind a declining postcard. Number 3, Middlesbrough, England. Sub £100,000 homes still exist in Middlesbrough, and that sentence alone should stop you scrolling. The post-steel economy is pivoting. Logistics expansion, university growth, a cost of living running roughly 20% below the national average. The building codes and housing stock here are functional, not fashionable. Translation: your money stretches like it is perpetually on clearance. The catch is the industrial aesthetic and the near total absence of prestige. Nobody at a dinner party in Leeds is envying your Middlesbrough postcode. But here is the thing, nobody at that dinner party owns their home outright before 40 either. You are not here to impress them. You are here to audit their choices and make better ones. Picture yourself in Middlesbrough paying £500 a month on a mortgage and investing the difference. That is not a consolation prize. That is a deliberate, legitimate arbitrage strategy. Number 4, Hull, England. Hull spent years as the punchline of British geography jokes. Then it became City of Culture, received serious regeneration funding, and the median home price stayed at roughly £120,000 anyway. Here is what nobody tells you about Hull. The rent to price ratio is one of the most favourable in England, meaning whether you are buying or investing, your capital works harder here than almost anywhere south of it. The catches are real, flood risk zones exist, and you should check the Environment Agency maps before any offer, limited high-paying employment sectors, and a career ceiling that demands strategic navigation. Translation: Hull is boring enough to make your bank account genuinely happy, if and only if you arrive with income already secured. Stop paying for a lifestyle you cannot afford in a city that does not need you. Hull's marina does not require your validation to exist, and your mortgage does not care about your Instagram grid. Number 5. Sunderland, England. Sunderland has a Nissan plant, a coastal setting, a median home price around £125,000, and a cultural identity so strong it borders on defiant. Real talk, it rains. The wind is consistent and personal. The regional accent is thick enough to disorient you for the first 3 months. Translation: cold climate, warm people, cheap housing, and an economy with more manufacturing stability than most post-industrial towns at this price point dare to offer. Picture yourself in Sunderland. Sea breeze on a Sunday morning, football tribalism on a Saturday, and a mortgage under £600 a month. That is not deprivation. That is a deliberate geographic decision that your pension will thank you for in 20 years. Number 6. Stoke-on-Trent, England. Stoke is the gold standard of affordability for central England. Homes around £140,000, 90 minutes from Manchester, and a commuter corridor that has quietly made this post-pottery city function as a financial pressure valve for workers priced out of every major metro around it. The fragmented city layout means car dependency is a real operational cost you must factor into your budget. Unincorporated land between the 6 towns that form Stoke creates a geography that rewards drivers and punishes those expecting a walkable urban core. But here is the thing. If your earnings are mobile and your lifestyle requirements are honest, Stoke offers cost of living arbitrage that is difficult to replicate anywhere this close to England's economic centre. Translation: not glamorous, financially efficient, those are not opposites, they are a strategy. Number 7. Barrow-in-Furness, England. Barrow-in-Furness is geographically isolated in a way that feels almost cinematic, tucked into a peninsula in Cumbria, surrounded by water on 3 sides with a median home price around £155,000 and a defence sector hiring surge that has created genuine, durable job security. The submarine manufacturing expansion at BAE Systems is not a rumour or a regeneration promise. It is contracted, funded and staffed. Translation: stable, well-paying engineering employment in a town priced like it is in decline because the perception of remoteness has not caught up with the economic reality yet. Picture yourself in Barrow-in-Furness working on world-class defence projects, then going home to silence, sea air, and a mortgage that does not require a second income to survive. Weather that makes you question your life choices? Yes. Financial breathing room that feels almost illegal? Also yes. Number 8. Belfast, Northern Ireland. Belfast closes this list because it is the most underestimated arbitrage in the British Isles. Median homes at £170,000, capital city infrastructure, genuine tech investment growth, a cathedral quarter that functions like a European city centre, and prices running 30% below Manchester. The catch that stops most people. Certain neighbourhoods carry historical and political divisions that are not resolved, are documented, and require due diligence before committing to a specific postcode. But here is what nobody tells you. Belfast is not a compromise. It is a legitimate capital city at a discount that reflects perception more than reality. Translation: you are paying for what the market thinks Belfast is, not what Belfast actually is in 2026. That gap is the arbitrage. The era of affordable living is not dead. It relocated to places you stopped considering because a magazine told you they were not worth considering. Nobody is handing you $50,000, but run the 5-year math. Lower mortgage, lower rent, lower daily costs, lower council tax, and the outcome is identical. That is not a trick. That is cost of living arbitrage operating exactly as designed. Here is the thing. A financial arbitrage only works if your earnings travel with you. Visit in winter before you commit. Run the numbers without emotional interference. Secure your income stream before you sign anything. And stop letting your bank account hemorrhage quietly in a postcode that charges you for the privilege of suffering alongside people in the same trap. The smartest move you will ever make might be geographic. Subscribe, because the next town on this list might be the one that finally makes the numbers work.